I'd love to have that.
I think it would.
Yeah.
A lot of their roots lay down on the ground to get going,
Yeah.
but they're tough. They're tough.
Mighty pretty back in here.
Oh yeah, I think so.
It's like heaven. Me and Bobby talk a lot about living in heaven, you know, because like you said earlier, you said that, you know, it wasn't about going to heaven, it's about putting heaven in your everyday life. And and he's got a little spot on the lake, and I do too, and we love it. And we all the time talk about living in heaven, you know, like especially like when it gets nice and we go out there and swim off his little point, you know, kayak around there. Oh yeah, man, this is heaven right here. This is heaven too. There's a whole lot of heaven. Just imagine what the real big one's going to be like.
Oh, just it's and that's the good thing about it. We can't imagine. I mean, they say we can't, but actually we can. We can use our imagination to make it any way we want.
Yeah. So is this your land on the left and their land on the right?
That's no. This is
Mossy.
This is neighbor's land.
Yeah.
This is one of my neighbors. Or his kids. He's dead. But
another thing we was talking about, this tree right here is all mossy. We were riding down through here, and I saw this house where the yard looked just like this. It had trees with moss. It had all this stuff, and there was no other houses that had that. And I'm thinking, well, what did they do to make their place like that everybody else around here ain't doing? Because you swore you was down in South Georgia or Florida, you know, just to look at their yard. And I was wondering, was there a certain combination to get moss to grow, you know?
I don't really know why moss grows on certain. Well, seems like it's got to be an old tree, an old undisturbed place very much.
Yeah.
And I built this road right here. So we just come off
and because of the rain, we got a little water up there. We got a little water work. Pretty nice.
Because it'll have little buggers in it.
Yeah, that's what Bill said. He said it has like fleas or something in it.
Chiggers.
Chiggers, that's right.
Yeah.
We don't want no chiggers.
You don't. You really don't.
No, I know I don't. I got one and took it home with me to Maine as a pet last time I was down here. It took about 3 weeks to get rid of that thing. I was putting everything on it too. You know, sometimes you just dig it out. You scratch it so much you dig the flesh out. And yeah, it was like that. It wasn't that much fun. We have sunshine.
I can tell you what I think it takes care of.
Fingernail polish. Some people do that.
New Skin, a product called New Skin.
New Skin.
Mm-hmm. I found out one thing. I fought athlete's feet for years.
Yeah.
And you can take, if you got a good wife like that,
Yeah.
you take freezers and get that old good skin off, then you tell you. Take peroxide and you put that new skin, and when you get back, then go in that 52 around the house.
Yeah.
And it calms down, it will take care of that.
So you say it's going to hurt a little bit.
It's going to scratch the itch.
You remember Blistasol?
Uh-huh. Oh,
Yeah, we used to use Blistasol. I don't know if they even...
I don't know if they make it anymore.
I actually found some, but I don't think it's as strong, because it used to be so strong. You put that on and you'd run around the house, because, woo.
Now this, here, we just came into our place when we came through that little gate.
Okay.
This timber cut, and she didn't replant it.
Right.
So see what a mess? Look at that. She didn't replant it. This is just natural.
Yeah.
And look how it came up so thick.
Yeah.
It's just really, really thick. If fire gets in there, there'll be no stopping.
Yeah.
No stopping that. So that's her 80 acres.
Yeah.
That she She just had to come back natural. She's sort of on the liberal side of things, you know, and wants everything to be natural. But natural is not always good.
Well, you know,
It's not. Man
managing
has improved this planet.
yeah.
He's not made it worse. He's made it better.
Isn't that what God told Adam and Eve in the garden there?
Yes.
To look after stuff. And
Yes, absolutely.
here's a beautiful world for you. Y'all look after it now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I know man's done a lot of damage, but he's also done a lot of improvement.
Yeah.
I mean, you imagine a big old buck with a big old horn trying to get through that,
Yeah.
or a little old yearling trying to get through that.
Yeah.
And then what happens when the fire comes? Of course, fire used to take care of that.
Right.
You know. But nowadays we don't. We try to keep fire out, so then we got jungle.
Well, they found out about that over in Australia.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw the link.
California's never learned.
I don't know if you saw the link I put up or not, but they, when that fire went all over Australia, there was a certain part there where the natives used to have a canal system built, and because they wouldn't let them burn it off, it all grew up in the woods, and everybody forgot about it. And when the fire burned it off, they found the old canal system where the natives would paddle out to the ocean and come inland and harvest fish, and had a whole economy built around that.
How about it?
And they were saying that they were going to be allowed to go back to that economy
Really?
now because they'd learned their lesson, because Australia burned up
I know.
because they wouldn't do it the way the natives had done it for generations and centuries.
What Daddy said when he come up, they burned the woods here every year.
Yeah.
So we burned the woods every year because their cattle back then, they had the cattle roamed. They didn't have the fences and all,
Yeah.
and they roamed. And so he said we burned the woods every winter, so the grass would spring up early in the spring, the old natural bull grass they call it. And they burned the woods every year, so that's where you could roam the woods. Used to, there was a lot more quail.
Right. Yeah.
They can't function out there in that old thick stuff.
Yeah.
Turkeys can't, neither can quail, not very well.
Uh-huh.
Quail can't survive out there. They have to have little quail live strictly off insects.
Yeah.
So he has to live in a place that's real where he can get around. When he's a little bitty fella, he ain't that high, He's got to get around. And so he has to feed in places like this. So when they burned the woods, they kept out the heavy undergrowth. The only place there was heavy undergrowth was in low areas, what we call ponds. And that's where the quail would fly to. When you flushed them up, they would go to the pond.
Uh-huh.
But nowadays with fire ants especially, there's hardly any quail there. Hardly any quail. But now there's deer everywhere.
I remember when there wasn't any deer.
I never saw a turkey till I was a grown man.
Yeah, me too.
Never saw a turkey till I was a grown
Well,
man.
all the deer had been hunted out where we grew up, and I remember when they started talking about they were going to put some deer in there, and they didn't want nobody to shoot them.
Well, they started, the man that owned that land out there that I was talking about, the paper company owns, or the investment company owns, the man that did own it was a man by the name of Wade, was his last name. And back then, they didn't want wildfire. He was growing timber, so he didn't want fire.
Yeah.
And he told the boys in the county, in the neighborhood, he said, if you'll form a hunting club, you can hunt that land, it won't cost you nothing. But I want you to have a club and help me kind of watch out for it. So they started hunting, and then they decided, well, let's don't kill those. Let's just kill bucks. Let's don't kill everything we see. As time has went on, there's just more and more and more deer, and now they've outlawed dog hunting for all intents and purposes. They've made it so difficult that almost nobody does it. So now the deer, we're going to be like Pennsylvania. I reckon we'll have deer will be a problem instead of.
Well, it already is a problem up where I live. They have deer. I've hit a deer up there, and they hit so many deers up there you can't hardly drive on the road.
Right.
And on top of that, they eat crops.
Right.
My neighbor, who's been a farmer His family's been farmers for generations and generations. They can't grow crops anymore because the deer eat them.
Yeah, and they won't let you kill them. You know, they don't want you to kill them. It's just crazy.
Up where we're at, they're actually hiring hunters to come in and shoot the deer. We live right next to the state park, and they run so wild in there. They're hiring people to come in and hunt them out just because you can't do anything there. Way too many. Yeah, it's got not a lot of hand.
Yeah, well, pendulums swing.
Pendulum swing. I try to tell people that about politics. You know, a lot of young people think that whatever's going on in politics is how it's always been. They don't realize it. Pendulum swings, that's how it works. You know, it goes one way a while, and then it goes the other way a while.
Now, back
Nothing
in my
stays the
younger
same.
days, you can tell the difference in our age, and my age now and then. See that board up there? That used to be my tree stand.
Where is it?
You don't see that board?
I don't.
That fork of that tree?
Oh, right in here. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And see those spikes on the side of that tree? That's rebar.
Oh, yeah, I do see them on the back.
I used to climb that.
Yeah.
I couldn't do that now if he was holding a gun on me.
Yeah. Oh.
See how far apart they are?
Yeah.
I used to climb those spikes and get up there and stand.
Huh. Well, there you go.
Hey, gosh. Not anymore.
Yeah. Younger days is gone, ain't they?
Yeah, those days are gone. And see, these trees have been cut and replanted.
Right.
And when I was a kid, that was all pasture.
Yeah.
We had cows out here. It was all pasture. And there were a few trees here and yonder. And little ponds and all. This little trail here goes up to my brother-in-law's sister's retirement home. They bought a double wide and put in there. And he rides his golf cart. He gets his dog and his cup of coffee. He gets on his golf cart and he rides around and his pipe.
Yeah.
He smokes pipe. And him and his old lab and his coffee and his pipe, and they ride and look.
Yeah.
And it's neat. They're really enjoying life.
Yeah.
They're retired and life is good.
Yeah.
And he sees about things. He's come down here and cut some trees out of the road for me and all that.
Yeah.
Well, I think I might have come right by that place where Josh made a video coming and getting some cedar.
Yeah.
But anyway, it was right back here behind us somewhere. And it was an old tree that... That's not it. That's another one. I didn't notice that one. A small one.
He's been having a time with that.
He's been having him a good time.
Yeah. There you go, right there.
That's it. Yeah, that's it. This
Oh, there's still a lot left there, ain't it?
Yeah, see, there was four trunks on that thing.
Oh.
And these two come this way, and that's where he cut the limbs and all stuff.
Yeah.
And of course, since then, he's found some up there closer to home that he can get all he wants.
Right.
But he's had him a good time with that stuff.
Cedar's interesting wood.
It is.
We got, it's interesting. We on the lake, we have a 300-foot area around the lake that's kept natural.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see where the pines die, and they just literally rot in place and tumble inside themselves. And the cedars die, and they don't go away. They just stay there. All the skin falls off, and
the red part of the cedar doesn't rot. It's like cypress.
Yeah.
Cypress is the same.
Pretty
way.
amazing
the
wood.
Cypress, it just doesn't die. It just doesn't go away.
Yeah.
It just doesn't go away.
And of course, people that can get them, get the post, make fence posts out of them because they don't rot and all that. Pretty neat. Pretty neat stuff. I remember when I was a kid, people built cedar cabinets. I guess they were supposed to keep moths out because they would, because of the smell of them.
They got Dolores for her graduation. I believe what we got Dolores was a cedar chest.
Yeah, yeah.
Or for her birthday or something, we got Dolores a cedar chest. She wanted them. She was a girl. This road here used to go through to the highway.
Yeah.
But it's grown up now, and this is not on past the branch itself. It's not our property. There's water down here that we're not even going to really get to. Is the landline. So it's a little another 50 yards or 30 yards in there to the ruin of the branch. But see, it's grown up. You would never know that went through there.
Yeah.
But when I was a kid, I can remember one time, Daddy bought some cows. He had an old 50 Ford truck. And so we come the highway down here and come through here that night with the cows, and it was raining just like it did last night. It was raining and carrying on. We got bogged down that branch with them cows.
I'm gonna step out a minute and show people this. I can hear this creek running right here. And
Well, that's just a little run coming.
right.